Now, since 2004, their opera meets pop blend has captivated the world with album sales of more than 22 million. Yes, we're talking about those four hunky guys from El DIVO, and Aisling drew the long straw to catch up with them in Barcelona for a very special album launch.
DIVO, I feel like such a lucky girl here in Barcelona, of all places, with four dashing men before me. Now, last night was some performance, and I saw Simon Cowell there. He was beaming with pride as he launched your album. How does it feel to have Simon Cowell say that ye are his proudest act?
It was fabulous, you know, to have someone like him. You know, he's very trusting about, you know, the four of us, I think, and that took him 2 years in order to find the four of us. Three, you know, of us are classically trained, and I'm a pop singer. And I think on that stage we felt, I felt very nervous singing this new album, because it was, you know, going like on the first date. It always feels like you come back to the beginning somehow. And
of course, Carlos, you were brought up in Madrid, weren't you?
I was brought up in
yeah, born in Germany, just to make you truly international. So did it have special meaning for you to have the launch here in Barcelona?
It was fantastic. I mean, it's obviously, being Spanish is like being in my own country. I mean, even if it's Barcelona, because they've always between Madrid and Barcelona in the football. They've always Barça, Real Madrid, but I don't really care. It's about football, so I love Barcelona, and it's like being home.
You have to tell me a few stories about the early days, because I can only imagine, considering you are such an international band and you're covering 4 countries, there must have been cultural misunderstandings. You must have been insulting each other you didn't mean to at the start. Have you any stories?
I don't know if we have any particular stories, but what you just said has just basically been the story of the first years, especially the insulting part, I think. No, but it's very easy, you know, if you imagine that we all 4 came together. David, only the one original English speaker, you know, but barely. English still is the only language we all 4 speak, so that was our medium of communication. Then you have the cultural difference of Spanish and that is...
I don't get it, but I'm sure it's funny.
Keep it like
Don't
that.
Translate it.
Just make sure that they go over all the top.
But that is exactly the thing, because that's a very common Spanish, and if you translate that into Swiss German, that sounds very rude.
I can only imagine, and I was reading there, for this album you think that you're more of a unit. What do you mean by that, David?
We've been through so much over the last 4 years that so many experiences, so many, you know, ups and downs, mostly ups, and all of them being very bonding for the 4 of us.
It must be annoying for you when the opera snobs start coming in, you know, talking about technique, because let's face it, especially, well, I don't mean to be rude at all, Sebastian, but you're the 3 classically trained guys. You do know opera, and you know it very well. You have the credentials to back it up. But when you get the opera purists criticising you, does that annoy you?
Well, we've just been in Mexico, and we've had an interview with a Costa Rican journalist, and he said 2 days earlier he interviewed Plácido Domingo, and he asked him, what do you think about El DIVO? And Plácido Domingo said, first of all, they're all very talented singers, and second, they do open the door very wide for a lot of people to start listening to classical music, and we should all be very grateful to them. And coming from Plácido Domingo, I think that is the biggest compliment we can possibly get from the opera world. So, what everybody else has to say further, bring it on.
That's the spirit, El DIVO. And you can catch the lads on March the 7th next year when they play the O2 Arena in Dublin.